In some cases such as this, it still appears in the storyboards and it's actually just crossed out to be removed. But in other cases there are whole sequences, whole parts of the story that have been animated or cut from the movie. A short one that I find amusing is during the coronation when Rumble asks Galvatron what he says his name was. Bone Crusher tells him he didn't. There was an extended part during the battle with Unicron. You actually see the Junkion kicking the panel in the movie. It's actually because the ship's just been ripped into two pieces, but they carry on flying as two separate ships. Okay, there's quite a famous deleted scene, some of you may know of it, some of you may not have heard of it. Is originally Ultra Magnus had a much more barbaric death in the movie than we actually saw. As you see there, the script actually says sweeps quarter him. In the movie it says exterminate him. The original concept was that the sweeps fired out 4 laser lines, or bolts, or we're going to call them lassos. That still appears in the movie. This is where it changes. These were then to wrap around Ultra Magnus' arms and legs, then start hoisting them up into the air. The sweeps then fly in opposite directions and just literally quarter Ultra Magnus and tear him apart. The Matrix would fall out. There's a big clue in the movie that this actually was animated, because if you look carefully, when Ultra Magnus is just standing there falling over and dying, Galvatron is looking straight up, and the Matrix literally falls straight down into his hands. Obviously, we're not sure if this was animated or not. It may have been cut for being too violent, but my personal belief is the audio for this section of the film indicates that it was going to be kept in. If it was animated, it might look something like this.
I want the Matrix. Never exterminate him. Unicron, my master. With this, I shall make you my slave.
Do you agree that the audio sounds much more like that's happening than what happens in the movie? It's not just me. Okay, another deleted scene that I believe may have been kept in is Prime taking out Dirge. If you watch the movie very carefully with the screen grabs I've shown here, Prime says, "One shall stand, one shall fall," and he's looking directly at Megatron. Megatron says his line. When they pan back to Optimus Prime, if you look, he stands up again for a second time, even though he was already standing. The reason for this is he's just taken out Dirge. In the storyboards, Dirge jumps Prime from behind, is turned upside down and then smashed headfirst into the ground. Would have been nice, but I think it would have broken up the flow of their confrontation. Okay, this is quite a lengthy deleted scene. This explains a couple of things, namely what happens to Prime's gun, why does he suddenly face Megatron with no gun, what was Megatron laughing and grinning at before he turns around to see Optimus Prime, and what happened to Devastator, why was Devastator suddenly in component form, not merged. So, after Prime has shot everybody, I'll just talk you through how this runs. Blitzwing flies down, misses Prime's shot, and takes Prime down. Prime loses his gun. Skull, Astrotrain, Starscream will rush Prime and pin him to the ground. Okay, Devastator gets up, moves forward, and starts making his way towards the Autobots. Ultra Magnus rolls in, and he's carrying Red Alert, Trax and Sideswipe on his back. If you think of the toys, Ultra Magnus, Red Alert, Trax and Sideswipe all have one thing in common as toys. They all have rocket launchers. They roll off Ultra Magnus, transform. Devastator bears down on them, and they fire their rockets at them at point blank. This then blows Devastator apart. This is a very large image in the storyboards, which means it's meant to be a very large, grander, more spectacular shot with Devastator being brought down. Destructicons gain their footing, unshaken, start running off the Autobots shooting. Red Alert gets shot in the back and killed. And they chase them. And Megatron looks on, grinning. And then he hears the footstep behind him, which is Prime. Again, if this was animated, it might look like this. Okay, the test footage. We know that, as I said earlier, that a lot